we are designing a body section. In the body section, I written a form, okay, and I defined a form. So is this valid? Can a body have two form elements? Can a page have two form elements? What do you say? Is it valid to have multiple forms? What do you say? Is it valid? Mm. So technically it is valid. It is valid. We can have multiple forms in a page. So that is valid. Now the point is in the approach of single page applications. So we need a form. So inside another form. So is this valid? A form inside form, is this valid? So technically, can you define a form inside form? So this is not valid. This is one problem with the forms. So this is a problem in the forms. So dynamically, we need a form inside another form. That means managing the forms nested, which is not possible to statically define them. So dynamically, we need to create a form. Why? Because we need to submit only a portion of the form. If we need to submit a portion of the form, then there must be a form inside another form so that you can submit only that particular portion. And creating a form in a nested way like this is not possible. That is the reason. So we need to add forms dynamically. How? Let's see. That means creating and configuring forms and nested forms. Creating and configuring forms and nested forms. So dynamically you can add the forms. So you can dynamically create a form and add to UI. It allows to extend the form. It allows to extend the form and make it asynchronous, so that only specific portion is submitted. And how it is possible? So you can create a form by using form group base. You can create a form by using form group base. So form group is a collection of form controls. That means syntactically how we define is, so public. So we have a parent form is equal to new form group. Now form group is a collection of elements. Actually, form group is a collection of elements. So in that we have control is a new form control. So we need to define the value for the form control, and we need to define another form inside it. Then we can use a child form and a new form group again. And in this form group, again, I can have a control. So a new form control. We can dynamically create the forms and form controls. That's how we have to configure. So a form is defined by using form group, and the controls in the form are defined by using form control. How to attach this to the UI? That means to bind with the UI. To bind with UI, you have to use two important properties. So one property is to bind with the UI. You need to use the properties. And what are the properties required to bind? One property is form control. So we need a form control property. So another one is form group property. So how you apply the form group? Technically, form group is updated in this way. That means we have to use form group. Another one is form group name. This is for parent form, and this is for child form. Child forms are binded with form group name. Parent forms are binded with form group. That means generally we define like this. So we configure like this form, and we use a property form group is equal to parent form. We have to attach parent form. Okay, inside this we cannot have another form. We use a container. Container like a div, and this container will have form group name and the child form. So that means HTML will not treat it as a form, but dynamically it will work as a form. For HTML it is a div, but for Angular it is a form. So you cannot define a form element inside another form element. So you need to follow this approach. What is advantage of this is you can update only that portion of the form. So without updating the entire form. This type of approach is required in regular forms. You can see, suppose you open account details. In account details, they will give you like personal details, like address details, like password details, categories, and you can update only specific category. You don't need to update entire form every time. So that is possible by using this type of approach. We will see how it is possible, means how we can configure. All right. So how do we handle and configure that? So designing the forms and binding the forms. These are the two things you need to know here. Let's create and see how we can define. One more point is, now the form controls that you are creating, the form controls are binded by using form control name. That means the form controls in a form group are bound to HTML elements by using property, by using form